If you trade gold here, yeah, the recording has started. So if you trade gold here, just kindly raise up your hand. You know, we are advanced students. You are not just here to listen. We are participants of the session, active participants. Okay, Mane says he trades gold. And I always like to tell people if you are a new trader and you are new to trading, except if your mind is so strong, the gold is the last place you should start from. You are supposed to trade other peers to be able to build structure in place. Then after you might have mastered yourself to some extent and gotten a hold of the market, now move to gold. But a lot of traders move directly to gold immediately. And when they do that, they get Sylvester trades gold too. So when they do that, they often get injured because gold moves very fast. So if you don't get gold right, gold destroys you. Gold is the only place that your $100 can just disappear in seconds. So you might not have gotten it right, but if you trade currency pairs, if you are wrong, you still have room to be able to watch your mistakes and even exit sometime. But gold, boom, it delivers its blow to you immediately. So that's why I often advise beginner traders to stay away from gold, except if you are being given, just like I've stated in the past, except if you are being given a special guide on how to trade gold. So what I want to show you tonight is regards how the forex market volatility works. So what I'm doing to you guys basically before we now talk about strategies are to dwell on, I'm trying to share my screen, please, are to dwell on some of the hidden infos, some of the informations that are very pertinent, but we do not know are pertinent. You know, there are sometimes you take a trade, you wonder why this trade is behaving like this. You wonder why, why in the morning my the profit was more, in the afternoon the profit is less, or in the morning, why is it that it has moved only a little pips and there was so much loss, and so on and so on and so on, like that. These are some of the things we fight as traders. Because just like I've told you guys in the past, what one person is doing as a trader is what hundreds of people are doing before they click buy and sell. But we do everything. We don't want to analyze. We don't want to calculate risks. We don't want to check our psychology. We don't want to check fundamentals, and so on and so forth. Okay, I think you can be able to see my screen now. Um, Let me confirm if you can see my screen. You can see my screen. Just let me type something in the chat. You can see my screen. Just type something in the chat. If you can see my screen, just type something or give me a gesture. Okay. Good, 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 good. If you can see my screen, simply means it is the good chart you're looking at. I don't know how many of you trade with laptop. You trade with laptop. It's a very good progress when you trade. I'm not saying laptop defines your profitability, but laptop helps you to see further. Laptop helps you to see very far, see the market in a wider range. If you are seeing the market in a wider range, you'll be able to. There's an aura that comes with it. So I've traded with mobile phones. I've traded with laptop. I will always choose laptop all the way. And there are many features that you can utilize in in a laptop. So now what I want to show you is there's something called volatility in the market. When you wake up in the morning and you trade gold buy, even though you do 0.01, there's a kind of amount of money you will see, profit or loss. In the afternoon, you trade gold buy, there's a different kind of profit you will see or losses. Same thing in the evening, same thing in the night. Now, this is called volatility. And the volatility of, I'm using gold now, for instance, because gold is one of the things that has more volatility, but it functions in all other currency pairs too. The volatility of gold is always, it always changes. It's not the same thing in the morning, it's not the same thing in the evening. Sometimes it's not the way the volatility of gold looks like this month might not be the way it look like next month. A very typical example. Around February this year, I could not forget that gold was so volatile that if you enter 0.01 within 1 second, you'll be seeing either profit $40 or minus $40 within 1 second. The volatility was very, very high. So a lot of people were making money and a lot of people were losing money faster. So anybody that just enter boom and the market goes straight up in that direction, they will think they have gotten an edge. Meanwhile, market was so volatile that they were lucky it went their direction immediately. How can we now be people who avoid how can we now be people who avoid this kind of scenario now? There's a tool, and the tool can function well in both your phone and your laptop. Now, the tool is called an ATR. It's an indicator. This tool I'm showing you, the tool is not to tell you whether to buy or to sell. Note, it's not a strategy tool. It is an indication of the volatility of the pair that you are trading. And it is called an ATR. You can have it on, it can be on your phone too. So it's not necessary a laptop. You'll see why we need it. Hold on, please. I want to show you something. Okay, good. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to close it. Now, have you noticed ever that what I want to show you is just this thing, but I'm going to show you how it works. Have you noticed that sometimes if you should take this movement from here, let me say, let me measure go now. NFP that happened today, let me see how many pips it did. It did over almost 800 pips. Gold moved over almost 800 pips today. Now, these 800 pips that you are seeing, the volatility was high. A day will come whereby 800 pips might be from here that I'm measuring down to a very long distance. Another day might come and 800 pips might just be from this guy to a very short distance. This is because as the volatility changes, the pips value also do change. Now, the reason why I'm teaching you this is if you have this on your phone, on your laptop where you're checking out your strategy, especially if you're a good trader, always pay attention because now you want to. There are traders who would use money as stop loss, not as they don't use zones as stop loss. For example, what I mean is some trader might enter a trade buy and they say, okay, they are risking $5. So regardless of what happens, if it hits $5, they are gone. If you now have that kind of risk management, then you now take gold trade when it is volatile. Your $5 will just be triggered. $5 stop loss will be triggered in the twinkle of an eye. So it is very important and very paramount. You know the way these things function. You know the way these things function. Sorry. You know the way these things function. Now look at this. This is an ATR. Remember, this is not an overbuy over. This is not a strategy for you to trade with. It's an informative indicator that tells you the situation of the market, the volatility, such that it is either you use the volatility to your advantage or you avoid the market at that point in time. Or you avoid the market. So let us see. Now, when you see this ATR, you can see this ATR is showing 8.166. I'm sure you can see it. ATR is average when it is reading 1.5 to 6 ATR, 1.5 to 6, or even 1.5 to 5, depend on your kind of risk appetite or whatever thing. But from 1.5 to 6, that is an average market movement. That means it's a more safer market movement. But once it exceeds that 6 and begins to climb up, that is, let's even say from 6 to 10, we are looking at a very volatile session, whereby gold is not something you just be messing with like that. Then anything that makes it exceed 10 and above, those are extremely volatile sessions, just like we had around February thereabouts, which lasted for a month. Gold was very volatile. If you trade gold, you remember how gold was very, very volatile. Any random move, and it is either it gives you massive profit or it takes you out. That was the way it worked. So we can see right now it's 8.22, 22.1. And if that is the case, that means the ATR, the market is actually very volatile. Let me see. And what is some of the reason for the volatility in the market? Because of NFP. Because of NFP news. So see these little movements. Let me put it in a smaller time frame. Let me see if it's really little. This is 100 pips already from year to year. 100 pips. So any small movement like this, market is volatile. So it's either I am making a lot of money at this point or you're losing a lot of it. 176. So what we're now saying is, if you are a good trader, I'm going to give you an assignment for currency traders. If you trade currencies alone, I have not started trading gold. Go and check this out for currency. I'm going to give it to you as an assignment. Check it out as a task, rather. Check it out and figure out how to make use of it based on what I've shown you. But note that it is you, this particular settings I've given you 1.5 to 6 and 6 to 10 and 10 to and above is based on the fact that it's gold. When it comes to do with other currency pairs, it changes. They vary. This will now bring me to the fact that notice if you are trading a strategy, yeah, the strategy might not work for all of the pairs you want to trade because these pairs, they react differently to things. You might be shocked that the pair that listen to a particular strategy going well, but is not going well in a particular strategy. That is like because the market has the pair has different reactions to things. Remember, these are countries' economy. These are not just candlesticks. So you cannot expect them to behave in the same manner. Okay, so I'll quickly entertain any question before I proceed because I want to be sure you're understanding it. In our next class, I'm going to be talking about fundamentals, though. But I want to make sure you guys understand what I'm saying. So I will need you to give me some questions. If you have any question, let me know so I can unmute you. This thing I've shown is very simple, yet powerful. It saves you from a lot. Saves you from a whole lot. That saved us from a whole lot. Any question, guys? Please ask me in the next 2 minutes. Figure out the question to ask, regardless what I've said. If you have a question, you can just raise your hand or type it in the chat. And if something that needs for you to talk, I'm going to unmute you. Okay, since there are no questions, let me ask, if you understand what I have just stated, kindly raise up your hand in the participant group or just drop a chat. Let me know if you understand. Do you guys understand what I've just stated? It's a very simple, like I've said, very simple technique, but yet very powerful. Okay, Sylvester understands, Mr. Emmanuel understands. Okay, where two or three are gathered. So I assumed the rest of us understand because you didn't ask any question. So if you are using a laptop, you saw I purposely had to launch it on the chat for you to see how I brought it in. This is a very rare information, trust me. It's an information that can do so much good. So if you want to load it on your charts, on your laptop, you use the navigator, but on the phone, same way you add an indicator there. Remember, this is not a trading strategy. Oh. When I mean trading strategy, it does not tell you when to buy or when to sell. This helps us to manage trades. Because many people don't know that trade management is also as important as entry strategy. How you enter the trade. They're two different things. So stick to um rather maximize your trade management. That way you can be able to maximize your trading experience. So please, that group, I'm going to be opening the Telegram group tonight so that I can drop some of your questions. And that tax I gave the last time about the pips calculation, I need you to help me drop it in there. I will take it one after the other. I will encourage us also to also try to be engaging in terms of this. So we'll still get to the part where we're going to talk about strategies. But like I'm telling you, I want to I'm building the momentum first. So now get straight to, okay, what strategy are we going to be using? What are we going to be learning? How effective are this strategy? And all of those things. So another 1 minute to figure out if there's any question before we call it a day today. And I open the Telegram channel. Okay, in the absence of no question, um, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Or rather, no, I think tomorrow is for the beginner students. I'm just gonna open the group so you guys can drop the tags and we can work on what do they call it now? Can work on other things tomorrow. Is Emmanuel raising up his hand? Emmanuel, let me see if I can. I don't know, Mr. Steve, can you help me unmute Mr. Emmanuel, please? Is Mr. Steve there? I don't know if you can let me unmute. Emmanuel, can you help me type if you have a question? I'm finding it difficult to unmute you and the host is not on sheet. Emmanuel, please just take 1 minute to just type, even if it's briefly. Bonnie, I'm waiting for you to type. I'm unable to unmute you at the moment. Okay, so I don't think Mr. Emmanuel has a question. I'll open the group. If you have a question, you can always drop it there too. So we call it a day today. Then we'll meet tomorrow. And we're also going to be conversing on the We're also going to be conversing on the Telegram channel. So good night, guys. Have a wonderful evening. Oh, I think there's a question and answer my chat. I have a question. Okay, okay. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I was expecting the chat to come in on a certain platform, on a chat box, but I can see it on the question and answer. Mr. Emmanuel say, for the ATR, are we checking at a particular time frame or it doesn't matter? Yes, the time frame does not matter. I don't know if Mr. Emmanuel is still here. Okay, okay, Mr. Emmanuel is still here. It does not matter. The time frame does not matter. The time frame does not matter. You can check on any time frame. Can check on. I can see you can just drop your question on the question and answer. So the time frame does not matter. Any time frame, it gives you the same results. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. Sorry for that inconveniences. So let me see. I think there's another question again. Okay, I think that's all. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. Thank God I didn't close it for checking that out. I'm going to open the group so that we can converse. So good night. Have a wonderful night rest.